Facts First presents. A couple are confused why their pic is going viral, but then they see this. Wendy Joseph was born in Haiti, but she spent most of her life in New Jersey. After high school, she decided to go to college, close to home. She wanted to study public health care and was accepted to Montclair State University. And that was the college where she met Dan Hennessy, who quickly became the love of her life. Wendy received a Facebook message from Dan, and he introduced himself with a short, sweet note. At first, she thought the message was a bit suspicious and told her friends about it, and they all checked out Dan's profile, and all they could find out was that the man was an 18-year-old student at her school and he was studying exercise science. Well, she thought he was handsome, but couldn't learn as much about him as she had hoped. When Wendy showed her friend Daphne the message, it made her even more suspicious of Dan. Daphne told Wendy that Dan had reached out to her, too. When Wendy heard that, she decided not to talk to him because he was already trying to talk to her best friend. Oddly enough, though, this was just the beginning of the couple's story. Dan never got a message back from Wendy, but he didn't give up. He decided to be direct and start a conversation with her. Again, she checked out his profile on Facebook. This time she realized that she and Dan had many mutual friends, some even in her own hometown. So she decided that since she and Dan had so many mutual friends in common that, well, maybe he wasn't an internet creep after all. Wendy and Dan started talking on Facebook a lot, and they began to get to know each other there. Dan wanted to get to know Wendy face-to-face, so he finally invited her to a party at his house. The only problem was that Dan and his roommate, they weren't planning a party. When Wendy agreed to go to the party, Dan suddenly had to throw together a big party, quickly. Because Dan played for the college's basketball team, though, he had no problem finding people to attend. Wendy showed up at the party with a few of her friends, and she and Dan met face-to-face, and they really hit it off. They talked and danced all night. When everybody left, Dan and Wendy were still there talking. They stayed in touch afterwards, too, but Dan had just gotten out of a serious relationship, and Wendy was enjoying her freedom. They decided to just remain friends, nothing more. When Dan's birthday came around, Wendy invited him out to dinner, again just as friends. They went, but then decided to start a relationship. That night, over Dan's birthday dinner, it became official. They were a couple. But there were problems. Wendy was always an independent person, and she was having fun in college being independent. When Wendy and Dan got together, they started becoming more dependent on each other. Wendy decided that she needed to grow more as a person before settling down, so she soon ended things with Dan. And Dan was heartbroken. After ending things with Dan, Wendy made a few other changes, too. She decided to embrace her own natural beauty, and she shared her journey with the world on her YouTube channel, Wendy's Curls. Wendy had thousands of subscribers, and they enjoyed her tutorials and confessions about natural beauty. And it wasn't long before she had over 60,000 subscribers. When Dan and Wendy ran into each other, just out of the blue, they realized they still were very much attracted to each other and very much in love. Well, after getting back together, they started working together on their shared YouTube channel. While they were broken up, they were both vlogging about fitness and other topics that interested them on YouTube. When they combined their channels, they had a huge following. People loved their tips, and they also loved following their love story. When the couple reached their 10th anniversary of knowing each other, they decided to post a photo to celebrate the day they met. Wendy posted a photo of the couple the night they met at that party and another current photo of them, and it wasn't long before the picture went viral. The couple were kind of confused why the picture was going viral, but then they saw it. I mean, they received thousands of comments from people telling them that they look younger now than they did 10 years earlier. The couple says that it's healthy living that helps them look so great. People were asking if they had aged in reverse, or maybe if the photos were reversed, if they were drinking from the fountain of youth, perhaps. All of that attention, it led them to start their now thriving business, True For You Fitness. Today, the couple is successful, in love, and now married. Tell us your cute meat story in the comments. And subscribe for more.